Smith, host of the 3 Million Podcast. You guys make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and follow us as well. Let me join Dave right now. What's up, Zach? Let me try to join Dave. Just waiting for Dave to join. Share this with all your friends. It's about to be a dope conversation. Dave, hey, I appreciate you hopping on the platform, man.
What is happening, my friend? How are you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I am awesome, man. Trying to get myself together. I just got a bunch of stuff on my desk, and it looks crazy.
You getting it though. You getting it, man. Starting off, man, I saw on your IG, you said something that was super dope about your decisions today can affect your tomorrow.
Yeah.
How important is it for entrepreneurs to understand like the importance of right now, like in this moment?
Well, it's not that your decisions today can affect tomorrow, but they do, undoubtedly. I mean, it's just one of those things. Wherever we are today, we can trace back. We can trace back through a bunch of decisions that we've made in the past. Wherever you are, whether good or bad. Like if you're in a great situation, you can look back over the years, the months, the weeks, the decades, and identify some things that you did that led you to the successful place. But if we're in a really negative spot, we can trace it back and find out, oh, I made a mistake here. Oh, that was a bad decision. I shouldn't have rocked with that person. But everything we have now or don't have is a result of a decision that we made. So yeah, absolutely, it's vital. It's vital.
I like it. How do entrepreneurs start forming a team? I've seen you talk about sometimes like you might have to make the decisions first and then consult with your team. But how important is it for you to have solid people all around?
Yeah, that too is vital. And I think in terms of how to build a team. I guess it kind of depends on what level you're on, because higher level, you could just build a team. And especially if you built something before, it's easier to find other people to jump on board. Because you can always find somebody that wants to be a part of a successful train, because success is hard to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
So if you had success before, you can either hire or you can get people to believe in, like this new idea because the last one won, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have any money, and you don't have any influence just yet, you got to do what you can by yourself until what you're doing becomes so attractive that it can attract a team. You know what I mean? So people like it just kills me. 'Cause I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, and it just kills me when people say, I'm starting my business and I can't find a team. Duh. Why would they join your team? There's no evidence of you winning. There's no evidence of, if I follow you, we're probably going to be in a successful place. There's no evidence. So why would somebody join your team? So we definitely just need to create some credibility by doing what we can by ourselves. So when I started my t-shirt brand, I was building a brand. I knocked out the logo, paid a designer. I printed my own shirts, put my money up, started selling the shirts. And what happened was, as I started selling the shirts, I had people come to me like, yo, I love what you're doing, man. I'll buy. And they started buying the shirts. And then some of the people that bought the shirts said, yo, all my friends keep asking me about this shirt.
Wow.
How can I sell them? Oh, so you want to be a part of my team? Who knew? Who'd have thunk? I was not thinking team. I need a team. I'm thinking I'm about to just grind and get this bag.
Yeah.
And what happened was, as you continue to grow, now I don't necessarily have any problems finding a team.
I love that, man. As an entrepreneur yourself, you started off at the Cheesecake Factory, bro. Like, you have a great story. How did you find that time and that balance to grind at a 9-to-5 and to still feed into your business to the point that you didn't have to work that 9-to-5 anymore?
Oh, really good question. It's in my book, Dreams Are Built Overnight. I didn't find the time. The time was there, but most people don't have. So for people who say they don't have time, they simply mean I haven't looked for it or I haven't earmarked it. We all got 24 hours. We got time. So what I had to do was start with an hour every day.
Okay.
So your question is, how do you find time to work your business and your job at the same time? All I did was carve out an hour from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. I'm going to do anything that I can to move the needle in my business. An hour. I just needed an hour. And my friend told me, he was like, yo, an hour's, that's terrible advice because an hour is just not enough because
Yeah,
you got to grind. Yo, if you have a dream, you got to go at it every day as much as you can.
that's real.
But I'm low key lazy a little bit, which is ironic because I always talk about grinding. But I'm like, yo, I'm not going to force myself I'm not going to exhaust myself. I'm just not that way. But I
Right.
figure if I can put an hour into my business every single day, I can at least move the needle a little bit. And what happened was I was putting an hour a day into my business, meaning I was putting 7 hours every single week into my business.
Okay.
And what could you accomplish if you had 7 hours to get some
Hey,
work
that's like
done?
a full work day.
Bruh, here's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. There are some entrepreneurs that are trying to build something right now who don't put 7 hours into their business every week, period.
Dang.
I'm talking about today that's
Yeah.
claiming that they trying to build something. They don't put 7 hours into their business.
Yeah.
But I was putting 7 hours a week by being consistent an hour a day. And then sometimes it goes to an hour and a half. And then we got into a routine where it's like, yo, time flies. I did 2 hours a day where I'm just grinding. I'm hitting people up. Like I'm working on designs 2 hours a day, bruh. That's 14 hours a week. That's 56 hours every single month. What can you accomplish if you have 56 hours to work on your business? So it's not about finding the time. It's about like earmarking time and cutting out distractions and saying, okay, this is the hour I'm not going to be distracted.
Yeah.
If we could do that, the time just pops up. We all got time.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, for yourself running a business, a word that you constantly use is pivot. How do we pivot during this time of the virus? How do we pivot when you have like ebbs and flows?
How do you not
Yeah.
pivot?
Well, some
You know what
people
I'm saying?
fold. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
those are the people that fold. Like they
Yeah.
fold. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Now, if, in this particular time, if you find somebody who hit this challenge and then they folded, we could probably look back in their history and find times where they came across a challenge and folded because that's what they do.
Mm.
Like the people that's not folding, like these are the people who hit a wall and they kept going and they kept building their business.
Mm-hmm.
Look back into their story, into their history. You'll see other times where they hit a wall and just kept going because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like if you're playing basketball, I don't know if you play sports, but you
Mm-hmm.
playing basketball, somebody blocks the way, you pivot around, you go around the person. Why? Because that person's in the way. You don't
Yeah.
just stop, pick up the ball, and throw it. But there are some people that when there's a man in front of them, they get nervous, stop, pick up the ball,
And
and throw it.
they try to pass it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing in business.
Yeah.
You feel
Dang.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so my question, people are like, yo, how'd you find the determination to leave your job? I answer that question with a question. How do you find like the courage to just stay there
Every day.
every day? That's harder than building a business. Like you
Yeah.
got to go every single day. So I'm
Yeah.
like, where do you? And I try to interview that. Like, okay, like what do you like most about it, and why do you stay? What's so great about this thing? Because I'm fascinated how somebody can be in a situation they don't want to be in, and they have the willpower, strength, the motivation to stay there.
Mm.
That's odd to me.
Wow. Wow.
That's odd, bro.
Yeah, hey, that's a great point, man. I've seen you have so many cool videos teaching kids about entrepreneurship. Do you think that entrepreneurship should be started to be taught in schools now?
Oh, bro, I've been working on a curriculum for the last month and a
That's good.
half.
That's
And
good.
actually, in some states, entrepreneurship is woven into the curriculum. It's slower coming in. Eventually, I believe I was reading something where they were saying that entrepreneurship will be mandatory starting, I think, fourth grade or sixth grade or something like that. Eventually, and I
Wow.
think some states started that process already.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Solutions. That's the thing as well when it comes to being entrepreneurs or creative. We run into
Mhm.
dilemmas, which is similar to making a pivot. How do we start learning more about how to find solutions better? Because I'm in that category sometimes where like I can face a problem when it comes to being a creative, and you can get frustrated. So how do you start learning how to find solutions better?
Um, I guess learning how to find solutions, it comes down to like learning how to be resourceful. And some
Mm-hmm.
people just aren't resourceful in thinking. So, sorry, I'm going to a school. I went to the school and I had an assignment for the students. And I said, I here's the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You're a homeless person. You're homeless right now. You have no money. How do we go from being homeless to being gainfully employed, having a place to live, eating every day, and being a productive member of society? How do we do that? And it's just one of those questions, like to kind of get their brain working and thinking, because a lot of kids never had a chance to like think critically. Because and here's how I started. I tell stories all the time, so I'll try to keep this one short. I was
No, hey,
driving.
take your
I
time.
was driving. This is when I was like, I opened my kiosk first time. I drove, and I'm at the stop sign. There's a homeless guy there, and the guy said, and he's got the sign like, "Yo, do you have any money?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." I think I reached in my glove box, and I had a couple dollars. Gave him some money. Right. The next day, he was there on that corner. Now I didn't have any other money, but same guy, same time. And really, every day for a week, same guy, same time. My first thought was, dang, this block is hot. Like if he's there every day, he's coming back to re-up. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
this
hey,
this
that's
is a
real.
hot corner. He better watch himself because somebody gonna try to move it on his turf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But then I thought about it. I'm like, I wonder what he does with the money. And then my mind went to, how do you get out of this situation? Like, does he have a plan for the money that he gets, or does he even see himself not having to do this? Like, can he put a plan together and think through, how do I find a place to stay, buy clothes, find a place to wash up and be clean every day? Do I interview? What are the steps? Now, some people, because I study a lot of behavior science, some
hmm
people, their brains don't think like that. It's just the way that their mind, that's not their superpower. Their brains
totally.
don't operate that way. But if you understand that your brain doesn't operate that way, you need to find either a coach or a mentor program where you can have accountability and people can help you with that. Because some people, they're endless with ideas. You put something on your Instagram today. Hey, what do y'all think about this? You have a million comments.
Yeah,
Now, out of these million comments, there are going to be a whole bunch of people that aren't good at execution, but are good at the ideas, right? They're good at figuring out stuff. They're not going to execute on it, but they're good at figuring stuff out. But if you're an executor and you're not good at figuring stuff out, you just take the information from people that are good at figuring stuff out, and you take that information and you go execute. That's one way of being, resourceful, asking other people.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking on coaching, you coach a lot of people. I know you probably have like a lot of clients. What inspired you to start giving people game?
Kept asking me. Yeah, no, when you start building, let this podcast blow to like 100,000 subscribers.
Hmm
It won't be long before you're like, all right, everybody keeps asking me, and I have a heart to tell people,
hmm
but I can't have 1,000 people ask me the same question. But I can
Yeah,
take a few of y'all. But to
yeah,
take that few for me to carve out time, it's not about me charging you, but I mean, I can either spend this hour with you or with my family, and this is the cost of this hour. Now, I'm not pushing you to order this, buy this,
yeah,
but you can book a session if you'd like to.
yeah.
So it was just people kept asking, I kept helping, and then what happened was I was this how it started. People were like, yo, I just want to pick your brain. It's like I'm new in business. People are, yeah, I want to pick your brain. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem, because I'm free with the information. And people show up, we'll have a good conversation. I'm spending an hour with this person. They go out and do nothing.
Wow.
Right? They come back the next week like, yo, can I pick your brain? I'm like, all right, yeah, just pull up. And I spend some time with it, and they do nothing. And eventually they call. I'm like, all right, well, I can't do it right now. I have too much going on. And then what I had to do was start charging people for lunch. I'm like, okay, I'll talk, but you got to at least take me to lunch, so that I know it's not a waste of time. If I give this information, you don't do nothing with it, at least I ate good, and we're not going to
You got a good
Wendy's.
meal.
Oh, for sure, I got to eat good. And people are like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And what happened was, it was the craziest thing. When people would have to take me to lunch and pay for it, they came with a notebook.
Mm.
Watch this. It's crazy. When people just want to pick my brain and they want free information, they just show up and we have a good conversation. When someone has to pay for my dinner, they bring a notebook because they don't want to lose the information. And I saw that that was a little more effective. And then I started charging people for the time. And when people invest, more effective. Make sense? So
Yeah.
that's how I got into coaching. Like it wasn't like, yo, I want to be this coach. I'm about to
Right.
make videos. I don't promote coaching now. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
people just want to do what I do. They need help. So I
I
help.
love that, man. So for all the other creators out there, how did they start monetizing their skill sets, and also how do they know their value somewhat?
Really good question. So, dang, they should have been paying for your meal anyway. I know. I didn't realize until later. Like,
Hey, he'll be having conferences by next year.
oh
We have like
yeah,
a whole
right, right.
conference.
So, well, we actually just did a big conference, the Social Proof Conference. Did you attend?
I didn't. I actually just started following like really soon, like a few weeks ago. I know. I
So
know I missed it.
last year we did a conference, Social Proof. It was we had about 550 people there,
Dope.
headlined by Jay Morrison, Inky Johnson. We had like 30 speakers. It was a 2-day conference. This year we were looking for 1,700, but COVID hit and we
Right.
just kind of turned it into a virtual summit. And it was a week long summit, and that one was headlined by E.T., the hip hop preacher.
Dope.
His business partner CJ was a speaker. Inky Johnson pulled up to that one. We had some high
Those
level.
some heavy hitters, man.
Oh, the Earn Your Leisure podcast was there. It was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, it was insane. But yeah, I forgot what you just asked me. But yeah, we do conferences now. So. Oh, the question. So I'm certified like 3-4 times over in terms of behavior science and helping people identify what their superpower is. So just real quick, if anybody's ever taken the DISC assessment, it's based in behavior science that there are basically 4 categories of prominent traits that we all share. One is either aggression, interaction, like that, like your decisive decision making, and then we have the I, your aptitude to interacting with others and sharing your opinion. That'd be 2. Number 3 is how you pace your environment, whether you move at a slower pace in a very structured way or you're moving at a more spontaneous way. That's your 3rd section, which is the S, and the C is your level of caution, your attention to detail. Now, we all have one of these, but we really got to identify what our true superpower is, because they interviewed a bunch of successful people and they were looking for a common thread of what are the skill sets, talents that all successful people share. And they were trying to find out, okay, if we can just lock down what these are, we can attain these and we can win, right? But they found out there isn't one. There's not like you got to be a great communicator, you got to be ambitious, you got to be driven. None of that. What they found amongst all these people were that 2 things they shared: self-awareness and authenticity. Self-awareness means I know who I am and I know who I'm not. I know what I'm great at and I know what I'm not so great at. Authenticity means I run towards playing roles where I'm good or I'm great, my natural gifts, and I run away from the stuff I'm not naturally good at. So, an example. Listen, just stop me if you
No,
ever,
hey,
okay?
bro, you
Because
speaking so many facts.
I'll
Hey, I'm
go. I
listening.
love this stuff.
I'm
So
listening.
self-awareness says, so I'm low on my aggression, my driving, determined, like really pressing people to get things done or attacking a problem. I'm not that aggressive. I'm higher on the I spectrum, where I love to be around people and I want everybody to have an amazing experience when they're dealing with me. But I always sacrifice the result, making the money, closing the deal, because I want people to have a great experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
My superpower is creating a vibe, creating an experience. Collecting the money is not. So I'll do an event and I'll only charge $10 or $15 for a whole event where we're really drilling in on how to be successful, because I just love being around people. That's my superpower. So much so that I'll start the event with nobody at the front desk and people just walk in. And I don't know who bought a ticket or not. The last event I did, I was like, all right, look, if y'all didn't buy a ticket online and you just walked in, just cash at me the money, please. Now, some people, I'm sure they just got in and didn't pay or whatever, but I'm not focused on the result. I'm focused on the experience. That's my superpower. What I have to do is put people and processes around me to help put barriers around where I'm not as strong. And this is what I mean. I have to find a business partner that's focused on the money and not the people.
Mm.
But I naturally repel those people because I'm all for the people. I want everybody to have a good experience. I want to add value. But you also need that business partner. It's like, okay, but where's the money? Let's focus on the money. Let's focus on let's focus on those sales, because I'll never focus on the sales. So I have to collaborate with people. And here's the challenge. I always repel those people, or it's not a good feeling, or it's not a good vibe, because we represent 2 different things. But the same person I'm repelling is who I need to build. So I have
That's
to
real.
recognize that in terms of building my team, I need people to cover what I'm not, because in the past, I'll find other people that's all for the people. We all for the party. We all for the experience. Nobody getting the money. We just had a good time.
Yeah.
Make sense? So
Yeah.
self-awareness says, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. Authenticity says, okay, I'm going to be on stage, but I need you to run the door. I need you to focus on the metrics. I need you to focus on the numbers, or a system, a process. So again, I'm not a hard salesperson, but I can drive people to a website. I can get people that
Right.
engagement. And when they come to the website, I have my copywriter. We gather their email, and then the email aggressively sells, because that's not my strong suit. I'm just not going to press the issue. But
Okay.
if the emails are saying, buy, 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 you're in my funnel, buy, this is why you need to buy. I can't believe you didn't buy. This is like the 8th email. Yo, I've sent you 9 emails. Why have you not purchased? And that's what happens. So people and processes, but you got to really, you can take this assessment. Just shoot me a DM. I have you just go to daveneversleeps.com. But you take the assessment, identifying who you are, and everybody I work with, everybody on my team takes the assessment, because I need to know who you are, what drives you and motivates you, and what order does your brain think.
I love that. So speaking on teams, Dave, how do you know that, hey, that is the person that needs to be on my team?
Partner that's focused on the money and not the people.
Mm.
But I naturally repel those people, because I'm all for the people. I want everybody to have a good experience. I want to add value. But you also need that business partner. It's like, okay, but where's the money? Let's focus on the money. Let's focus on let's focus on those sales, because I'll never focus on the sales. So I have to collaborate with people. And here's the challenge. I always repel those people, or it's not a good feeling, or it's not a good vibe, because we represent two different things. But the same person I'm repelling is who I need to
Mm.
build. So I have
That's
to
real.
recognize that in terms of building my team, I need people to cover what I'm not, because in the past, I'll find other people that's all for the people. We all for the party. We all for the experience. Nobody getting the money. We just had a good time.
Yeah.
Make sense? So
Yeah.
self-awareness says, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. Authenticity says, okay, I'm going to be on stage, but I need you to run the door. I need you to focus on the metrics. I need you to focus on the numbers, or a system, a process. So again, I'm not a hard salesperson, but I can drive people to a website. I can get people that
Right.
engagement. And when they come to the website, I have my copywriter. We gather their email, and then the email aggressively sells, because that's not my strong suit. I'm just not going to press the issue.
Okay.
But if the emails are saying, buy, 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 you're in my funnel, buy, this is why you need to buy. I can't believe you didn't buy. This is like the 8th email. Yo, I've sent you 9 emails. Why have you not purchased? And that's what happens. So people and processes, but you got to really, you can take this assessment. Just shoot me a DM. I have you just go to daveneversleeps.com. But you take the assessment, identifying who you are, and everybody I work with, everybody on my team takes the assessment, because I need to know who you are, what drives you and motivates you, and what order does your brain think.
I love that. So speaking on teams, Dave, how do you know that, hey, that is the person that needs to be on my team? How do you know the perfect person to work with?
I mean, you don't find out the perfect person until you find
Well,
out
yeah,
they're the
but
perfect
best
person,
person.
or you find out they were the wrong person.
Yeah.
But the easiest way, obviously, now is me understanding this behavior science, knowing what I am and knowing what I'm not. So authenticity. But the other thing is just making a little list of all that you need, and then you put people in those roles. So before, I would have business partners, and I pick my business partners, or the people that I work with, based on proximity, meaning the people that's around me. We're all
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
room, and we say, yo, let's build this business. Oh, you want to build this business? Oh, we got this good idea. Let's come up with a name. Oh, the name will be dope. What are going to be the colors? Okay, what's the first shirt? And now we got a business.
Right.
And then I realized, wow, none of these people in this room can help me. Like, we need somebody that's that has structure and order, who can put systems together. But none of these people in this room can put a system together. They're all like me. They're all my friends. So now we got to go find somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
now I pick my business partners based off of what I need and what I'm not. Make sense?
Yes, sir. I love that. With networking as well, that's vital for any entrepreneur, creative, whoever.
Facts.
How do we know how to network effectively? What tools or strategies do you have for that?
Well, I wrote a book called Networking No Nos, It's out, but it's not out yet. It was out, but then we stopped it being out because we put in like modules and stuff and videos together. I'm going to be
Okay.
giving the book away for free, so just follow me. If y'all give me a couple, a week or two, everything will be done. But I think one, knowing yourself first. I mean, that it sounds redundant, but there are people that want to network with other people, but you don't really understand you first. You know what I mean? And who you need.
That's
Like
facts.
some people, we don't need. I don't. Honestly, I have enough friends. I've got enough friends. I've been on this earth for 35 years, and I've accumulated some friends. Okay, I've had some friends that came and gone, and by now I have a pretty good idea on who my friends are because they've stood the test of time. We're still friends. I don't need no more friends, bro. I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good.
Respect.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Hold on,
Yeah.
man.
So like I got friends. I got a wife. Bro, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't really need new friends. I need what I need in terms of people. Like how can we make something happen? How can we collaborate? You hit me and was like, yo, jump on my podcast. Okay, great. We're not the best of friends. We just met. This could be a good, not saying we can't be friends at some
Yeah.
point, but yo, you need a guest. I can use some exposure. Let's do it. Great. No
Mm-hmm.
problem. This works. This is a
Mm-hmm.
good networking. This is a good step of networking, a mutualistic relationship where we both get something out of this, right?
Right. Right.
And who knows, we just stay in contact. And, if
Mm-hmm.
you need anything, I hit you. I mean, you hit me. And now we're connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why having a podcast, I say one of the best things you could do for networking is having a podcast because
Mm. Yeah.
if you didn't have a podcast, what would you say to me? Yo, bro, love your stuff.
Peace. That's
Peace.
it. Yeah.
Or we run into each other in the
Yeah.
street. It's like, yo, let's take a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. But now I have a podcast, so I can go up to like successful people and say, yo, love your story. I love to have you on my podcast. We
Mm-hmm.
got these subscribers. People going to tune in. This is where it's going to be at. We'll send you all the footage.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, that. So for networking purposes, I've been able to connect. That's why we had 60 people on the docket this year for Social Proof, 60
That's amazing.
speakers. And if you go through my podcast, you'll see all those speakers.
It's networking.
It's
I love
networking.
that. Dave, man, your podcast last night, I was just binge watching it, super dope. What inspired you to even start a podcast? How did that
Networking.
start?
Networking.
Back to
I need to
networking.
read.
It
Let's
goes back
talk.
and forth.
We're actually going to release another episode. We were off because I did the conference April 2nd and 3rd, like
Okay.
that whole week, and it just threw me off. So we were off for a few weeks, and I think we're dropping another one Monday, and we'll be back on the schedule.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
You're an author. You have
Yeah.
books. There's many people who want to write books, many creators, entrepreneurs. What advice do you have for them to actually take that leap and to start writing?
I think just identify what you want to talk about.
Okay.
And I think what you talk about should have some sort of bearing on your expertise, unless it doesn't have to be a motivational book. It could be a story. Let's just identify what you want people to get out of the book. Is it entertainment? You want to make them laugh? You want to make them reflect? You want to motivate them? Whatever. So whatever you want to do for that book, just identify what it's going to be about, and then you outline it. So for instance, let's say I'm going to write a book on basketball, how to play basketball. That's the topic. I'm dead set on it. Basketball. Let's do it. Well, the next step I take is outlining what are the points I want to talk about when it comes to basketball. We're going to talk about offense, defense, dribbling, shooting, passing, teamwork, coaching, leadership. In this list, I might have a list of 10, 15 things. And I'll take one of those 10 or 15 and I'll write on, okay, we're talking about passing. This is how you pass. This is why it's important to pass. These are things, this is where passing came from, right? And we just finished that particular topic. Then we go to number 2. We're talking about shooting. Here's the form. Here's the different types of shooters. Here's the greatest shooters. Here's the worst shooters. This is why shooting is important. When you should shoot, when you shouldn't shoot. So we have the topic, 10, 15, 20, whatever topics under the main topic. And we write on each one of them one by one, piece by piece, bit by bit. Then you got a book. It ain't rocket science.
Simple. Simple.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, man, what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned, like throughout this journey, throughout this process?
It takes patience. You got to have fun. in my experience. Now, some people build big businesses and they don't have fun and they just build it, they're focused. But in
Yeah.
my experience is have fun. You know what I mean? Like tomorrow's coming. Failure is somewhat inevitable. So hurry up and fail. Just get it out the way.
Yeah.
Like just run towards it. I'm encouraging everybody. Do me a favor, y'all. Build something this year and fail at it. Let's see if you can fail. And that just takes away the scariness of failure, right? Like it's inevitable. It's like a child, they want to walk, but like the baby stands up, falls, stands, falls, gets up, and eventually they begin to walk, but they would never learn to walk without the falling. So the falling is necessary, right? And it's going to happen. Your first time walking, you expect the kid to just jump out of the womb and just start running.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So let's get you like and do me a favor. Interview some successful entrepreneurs and like really learn their journey. You'll find out that they failed, meaning those failings or those fallings were the prerequisites to being able to walk. So
Mm,
why are you so afraid of prerequisites? We do it in school all the time. We're going to take a bunch of classes we don't need. We probably suck at these classes, but we need them so that we can graduate.
facts.
Failing is a prerequisite. Just do it. Just hurry up, get it out the way, and let's do it.
Facts. One or two last questions. How important is it for us to write down our goals and to at least like visualize and see, where we want to be in the future?
Vital. I think it's hard to like move forward if you don't know where you're going. You know what I mean? So we can start a business and we don't have any goals, but we just start. Yo, I'm just going to be an author and I'm going to write books. That's not necessarily a goal. And it's hard because it's hard to actually complete it because you can't see the future. Like you don't
Mm,
even have a visual of what the end goal looks like, right? So
yeah.
if you have a vision of what the end goal looks like, it makes it a lot easier to go through the hardships, right? So they were walking with Jesus 2,000 years ago. The disciples, they were walking with Jesus, and they had to go through a lot. They had to go through a lot. I'm talking about like persecution and, like people were like being killed, and it was just, people talking bad about them, their family not trusting them. It's just an ugly situation.
Right.
But what kept them going through that is the promise.
Mm,
My father has many kingdoms. Yo, streets of gold, pearly gates. Like this is the future. This is the promise of it all.
that's real.
Martin Luther King, and kind of like the civil rights movement. It wasn't that they were going through all that oppression just to go through it because it felt good. There was a promise. One day, little black boys and little white boys will be able to play together. One day we'll be able to go into those restaurants. One day we'll be free. It was the promise. It was the problem. That's why Harriet was willing to run. She's like, yo, there was a promise of something.
Right.
There's a promise. I will go through getting chased. I go through the woods. I go through cold nights. I go through hungry. I go through being. I'll go through all that. I'll run the risk because there's a promise of freedom.
Right. Right.
And then she went back because of the promise. She saw this vision one day where it's like, yo, my whole family could be up here. I gotta go back. I gotta go back because this vision is gonna keep haunting me, and I see it. Like I know who I'm. Did you see the movie? Like she was detailed. Okay, this is what I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna go get. I
Wow.
gotta see the names. I'm gonna go get these people, and that seeing my mom and dad free. That's the vision. So if we don't have a vision, if we don't have it, if it's just in our head, it gets lost because we have a vision here, and then as the day goes by, there's another vision that covers that one, pushes that to the back, and then you see something on Instagram that leads you to a YouTube video, and then you spend
Yeah.
the next 2 hours watching that, and then the idea you need to write it down, make the vision plain.
I love that, man. Last question, Dave. What drives you every single morning when you first wake up?
Um, what drives me every single morning? Uh, what drives? That's a really, really good question.
Thank you.
That is a really good question. What drives me? And it seems like I should have the answer to this, right? It seems like I should have the answer. Um, I think I'm at a point right now where it's routine. I just get up and go do it. I mean, just when I said one of the most important things is just to have fun, I literally wake up. and I have fun. I love this stuff.
I love that.
There's not pressure. There's not like pressure to go play. It's like what drives you know a basketball player to get up every morning and jump on the floor and play the game. I love the game. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
improving. It feels great. So um, I'm not sure if I have a specific thing that drives me other than like the zeal for life and the fact that God gave me an opportunity and I got to maximize it. And it'd be disrespectful to not use the gift that somebody gives you. Can you imagine giving your best friend a gift and 6 months later you see that same gift in the closet, unwrapped, untouched, unused? You'd be pissed.
That's real.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's almost like it's my duty to go out and be an entrepreneur and inspire other people. So, you know what? That's a really good question. I need to find out what when I wake up,
Okay.
what inspires me. I don't
You'll
know.
be thinking about that one for a while.
I'll
I
be
love
thinking
that.
about it for a while. Yeah, I'll be thinking about it for a while. That's a good question too.
Thank you, man. Before we go, where can everybody keep up with all of your work and everything that you have going on right now?
Follow me on Instagram, obviously at Sleep is for Suckers. Just follow the journey, man. I don't have anything to sell you right now. Oh, we are doing a conference called Ground Zero, Ground Zero Conference with a bunch of really
I
cool
saw that.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah, you had like 19 keys. I think he was on the flyer.
19
Yeah,
Keys, spectacular. We got him 500. We got
yeah.
Dr. O, Steve Canal. We got there's so many. Oh
Legend,
my, it's actually
legend.
amazing. So what I need you to do though is go to my go to my stories and just swipe up on the stories and get your ticket. There's 28 speakers. Price of admission is $28, meaning you
Dollar
get to pay $1
per speaker.
for each hour
Yeah,
of information. $1 to
you
change
pay
your
more
life.
in church.
Bruh, what?
Yeah.
Oh man. Spent more on Amazon. Everybody spent more on Amazon yesterday. So get
It's
your ticket.
real.
Go to my my stories, just swipe up, Ground Zero Conference. It's going down.
Perfect. Dave, man, thank you so much for a dope interview. This will be posted on YouTube probably tomorrow, so I got you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Awesome. Let me
bro.
know when it's up, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity, bro.
Yes, sir. Likewise. All right, you guys. Again, my name is Caleb Smith, host of the 3 Million Podcast. If you guys can, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this content as well. We'll have an IGTV portion of this interview posted today, and the full interview will be posted tomorrow on our YouTube channel. Thank y'all so much, and we love y'all. Peace.